So, hi, hello guys. Good evening. My name is Vaisha, and today I'll be talking about my experience of me giving the NID exam for the first time for masters, of course. 2 days back I gave my exam, and yeah, I think this kind of video where we actually talk about how the question was, what was I expecting, was able to do, what was my thoughts about the questions, and my preparation. Also, a few things that we should know before we go and give the exam. Quickly jump to the main part of the video. So, first, I shall talk about a few things which I didn't know about the exam. So half an hour before the gate closes, you have to reach the examination hall at least an hour ago. That's a safe time to reach your examination hall. Um, Second thing, you cannot actually carry a pouch like this, or even like half the pouch of it. I mean, as if like I'm talking about the pencil cases like this, it should be transparent. I did saw a few people bringing blue plastic pencil boxes, but I'm not sure very much about it. So a safe choice: either carry a transparent pencil box, or just you have to take everything on your hands. And yeah, so take a water bottle if you like, if you want. Now also take a cardboard with you, like the exam board with you, because the kind of table that I got, it was a steel table, and it was bumpy. So I didn't had much of the problem dealing with that, but few people could. Safe that you take things with yourself. Okay, these were the two things. And please do carry blue or black ball pen. Necessary, absolutely necessary. I luckily carried a black ball pen with me, but it was a necessity because you get OMR sheets and you have to fill the boxes on that. Now let's talk about. Okay, I did a disastrous mistake at a place, which was I actually, I thought that they'll just take my OMR sheets after 15 minutes, because that is the time limit that you have to solve those. I think it's 30 questions or 15 questions only. I don't, yeah, somewhere around this, but very less. I think it was 15 only, 15 questions. Yeah, it was like, I don't remember, but okay. So, so I marked the wrong answer, like in OMR sheet, that the option should have been D, but then I marked C, and it was disastrous. Though the good thing is that I just made that answer wrong only. It was neither B, neither D, it was C. So I'm like, okay, anyways, for me, like I'm relieved. But imagine, the point of me telling is that you don't get another OMR sheets. Please be very sure about it, that you are very sure that this is the option, that you only mark that. It's time consuming, plus you don't get another sheet like me, like the thing that I did. Second thing, they specifically tell you, don't do things on your question paper, like use the rough section only. So I actually, you don't have time to, I said, go and do rough things. So I was working with a pencil, so I would just, if I'm sure about, like, this is the right answer, I would just do a chota sa tick over there. And if thoda bahut calculations there it is, I would do the calculations there itself, but I'll do it very light, so that once I'm done, I just quickly erase everything, and then I submitted the sheet itself. That was one thing. Second thing was, what so I actually, yeah, I'll be very honest, I didn't prepare well for this NID exam. I have 50% hopes, like I might get into, I might qualify, I might not. Like my situation's like this, because I didn't have much time to prepare. Like it was just 2 weeks ago I gave I filled the form. So yeah. One thing to my surprise was I didn't know that you actually get the discipline specific questions. So people who are as dumb as me, no offense, but I was dumb to not actually dig into things. Like one day before exam, I get to know that, oh, there's this another question paper that you get, which is discipline specific questions. People don't talk much about this in YouTube, like, because I was struggling with it, and I thought that, okay, like there is only like the pattern is same as of how we get in seed, but it's not. To my surprise, I think, for me, if you ask me, the paper was easy. If I would have prepared a month for this paper, I would have slayed it. But anyways, maybe I right now I'm dumb enough to think the paper was easy, but it wasn't. We'll get to see that in few days when the marks comes. Okay, like yeah. So I'll talk about the questions. Okay, so in the first 15 questions, where we have to, like, no negative marking is there, so you can just play with your luck, which is great actually. I think there were questions in related to design principles. Like there was this picture. If you want, I can actually put the picture back over here. So like something similar, you will get the question paper anyways. I just talk about my experience. You'll see the question paper by the time this video reaches to you. So there were questions related to design principles. There were questions related to, there was one question where it was like, how many trapeziums can you find? I think I'm right with trapeziums. Yeah, but it's a, just to tell you, they actually gave the definition of trapezium, which is like, it's a four line shape which has two sides parallel. So yeah, but I tell you, it was pretty tricky. Like I had practiced these kind of questions. I had been practicing, and I wasn't. I think I made that answer wrong because the time was less and I was kind of struggling a bit with that question. So apart from that, a mathematics basic question came, which was like a so the if there's this number 5 which you have to multiply by minus 2 10 times, what would be the 10th term? Okay, it was pretty easy. Then there was reflection question where it was like I don't remember what was the word, but it was something as total flop. If that is what you see the reflection in the ground, because like so there's a room, and the room, the floor is the mirror. Okay, like they have placed a big mirror as a floor, as a flooring, and there's this poster in the wall. Now the reflection of the poster in the floor tells you that it's written total flop. So what would be the actual poster? So there were options given. It was yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I made the answer right, but I'm just giving you the gist. What kind of questions I came across. There were G20 summit questions. Yeah, so they did actually ask that what are where's the 2024 G20 summit going to happen? I made the answer right, which was in Brazil. I yeah, I am not sure, but probably it's Rio de Janeiro. I can absolutely be wrong, but Brazil is the right answer because I checked it after I came from exam. Another question was there were questions related to yeah, UN sustainable goals. Like they asked us how many UN sustainable goals are there. I think I made that answer wrong, but I actually read that in the morning only. So yeah, I mean now like looking at the questions, these were pretty easy questions. Like I was right on to the point. Like I knew the answers. There were actually questions related to. So I choose my discipline as interaction design, and there were quite a few interaction design like UI UX related questions, basics. Like I'll tell you how I prepared a night before. I just went through the glossary. I said randomly all the terms related to UX. Okay, it was like affordability, what is UI, what is UX, and yeah, these things. So yeah, I was able to kind of figure out these things. Apart from this was all in section one, like those MCQs. Now we're gonna go to those five main questions. Yeah, so I mean, I would say that the question paper, the second part, was time taking. Thoda mere liye to. It was because I think I'm not such a good sketcher or illustrator. I kind of my paper was like, ugh. But my sketches was like, ugh. I have good ideas. I have to practice more on that side. So the first question. So I tell you my approach. There were five questions. I quickly like I saw people. So there. The invigilator didn't say, now you stop with section one and now start with this main question paper. People just opened it and started doing it, and I was like, oh shit! Like the time's passing by like anything. They don't give you what you're not allowed to watch, so you have to continuously keep asking the invigilator that like what is the time, how much time is left, and that's how you're gonna figure it out. That yeah. So I think 135 minutes they give you for your second, like those bigger questions, the second part. Yeah, we'll just address it as section B. Okay, like I'm confused right now. So yeah, section B. So randomly went through the questions, and I thought that fifth question I wanted to start from there because that was something I wanted to think about because I was sure I would figure out things for that. But the fifth question was actually related to UI basically and UX, like UI UX, yeah, because it included experience as well as the thought process, how things would actually work for the user. So the question was that we have to actually design the contact list. We were given three options. Okay, it was one for your family, one for your friends, and the third option was for driver or slash domestic helper. So you have to choose out of these three, two of them, and you have to actually design the contact list, the UI of that according to that. So like there were two sheets. In one sheet, they would like I'll just quickly sketch and I'll show you. Like it was like if this is the sheet, one phone ka frame, one another frame, and one another three frames. So this is for one, and then another page again had these three frames. So like yeah, it's like those who know about a little bit about UI UX would know like the wireframe thingy. But yeah, it wasn't mentioned anywhere that we have to actually design wireframes. I was confused over there because wireframes was pretty easy, but they actually told to come across exactly how it would look. So I actually put thoda details on it. Though seeing the time, I I did it neatly. Like this question, I did it very neatly. Thought about it. I chose like for driver and domestic helper, and the second option was for my family. I am sort of scared about my approach of giving these answers. So I think I'll just wait for my marks to come, like if I make it, then I would discuss about my approach to these questions. Yeah, so like right now, this could be the second part of my video. Like this was it. Another question was, so like this was fifth question. Question number four was that people in rural areas, they sit under a tree to talk to people, like communicate, to kind of catch up with them, meditate, have some that good spending some good time over there. Also to discuss about important things and yeah, pretty much these. So like now we have to actually so these three things which was given, like this communication part, people come and talk to each other, meditation purposes, and also to discuss important things. uh, I think this was it. So we have to actually design a mobile device. It's actually mobile device. Sorry for my English. We have to design a mobile device in any one of these options. So the first part of the question was, to whatever we choose, we have to talk about it. I don't know. Like it was just like, describe the. I don't remember this, but I think the question was like, whatever theme you choose, you have to describe about it, and like how would you take it to a very application level, like this feeling. So yeah, I took meditation while I think, because I could relate it to the most. Like I would see that generally I have experienced it personally, that sitting beside, like sitting below a tree, and those cool breezes, and those chirping of birds, little sunlight, warmth. It's an amazing feeling. So I could relate to that. So I had literally 2 minutes to cover up this question. Like this was the last question that I was taking up. Just had to do it, anything, but do it, because my strategy was, even if I go and, like, even if I don't know a shit about the answer, I have to do at least something to make sense, so that at least the person would be like, कुछ तो किया, दो एक marks तो दे ही सकता हूँ कुछ करने के लिए. I had this kind of thought process going on. Made sure I touch everything, which I actually completed my question paper. So like it was nice. It was a nice feeling. Yeah, again, I wouldn't discuss about this. So yeah, this was a part one where you have to actually give a write-up thing. Part B was you have to sketch that device, and how the use, like how you want to use it, like the rural people, how they want to use it. So when we talk about rural, it is like you have to actually think about, you cannot make it very complex or stuff, because it though, you have to make it very simple. I think to the point where they are able to access it, properly use it, and that application or that device would actually make sense to them, because I think yeah, I mean, to that. So yeah, I mean, for the communication purpose, because it was difficult, because it was under the tree. That is what they're talking about, like that experience of sitting under a tree and doing these things. To take that experience to an application, you have to kind of make that relatability, which was tricky, I guess. I don't know how other people would solve this. I would definitely talk about what was my approach. So what I would do is, I would actually try putting up all these answers on a paper and then showing you what I did, how I did.